Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Fanatics. Today we want to talk about virtual assistants, lifesavers if you ask me. Massively important to your business over time, even maybe in the early days as well. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about today about why we use virtual assistants, when you should use virtual assistants, where you should use them in your business, things of that nature. So stay tuned for more. However, before we begin, hit my subscribe button down below, the notification bell. If you want to reach out to me and talk about anything real estate related, I've got a Calendly link that we will drop down in there. Happy to talk with you, schedule some time on my calendar. Super servant guy. Love to do those kind of things for you. If you want any of our systems or tools, same thing. Set up a Calendly time with me and happy to kind of share some of that information on the team with you. So how have virtual assistants played a major impact in a successful way in our business? That's what we want to talk about today. How you can use them, things of that nature. So super excited today. Here's the deal. Virtual assistants, again, it depends on the company you use. There's a lot of variables. The model that I personally like is one, and yes, I will put full disclosure, it is my son's company, but Sphere Rocket, I love their model, and so I would look them up, sphererocket.com. So anyways, with that being said, really but the Sphere Rocket is a company that the way they do their business model, right, is you basically kind of pay either a headhunter's fee or you can get on like a monthly subscription plan where essentially you can have unlimited VAs. They replace them for free. But the reason I like their model really is you pay per hour and they basically work for you as like a 1099 international kind of scenario, even though it's a slightly different form that represents international businesses. But here's the deal. With virtual assistants, they're commonly using the $4-5, maybe up to $6, maybe up to $7 or $8 for senior key leadership positions. Going through Sphere Rocket, you're not paying the overhead of a contracting company managing them. You also don't have to worry about a contracting company pulling them back from you once you get them really qualified and trained and then putting them to somebody else. You don't have to sign a one-year contract, whether you like it or don't like it. Like this is like really the virtual assistants come into your kind of leadership, right? You get to kind of train them on how you do things, how you want things done. They generally come trained in their specific field of expertise that you need, but they're not going to know how to customize things for you. Like Sphere Rocket or other companies can't necessarily train how you do business. Like even if it's CRMs, lead gen tools, whatever the case may be, you're going to run business the way you run business, and you're going to have to train anybody, whether it's US based or not. So, one thing about Sphere Rocket is they also say, like, look, all these principles apply for in-person. It's just a matter of labor costs, right? And that's the reality of it. In the US, it typically is more expensive to live. So therefore, you've got to be able to have a minimum wage that's 12, 13, 14 bucks an hour. In the Philippines, minimum wage is, I don't know the exact stat, but let's call it $3-4 bucks an hour. And that's because cost of living is a little bit more affordable there, right? We used to be that way, right? We'll look back into maybe the 50s or in the 60s, it was maybe $3 or $4 minimum wage. But because of inflation over time, our expenses have gone up, so salaries have gone up, right? No judgment there. I think some people get wrapped around the axle that they compare our salaries to their salaries, but all things being compared, they're making the same amount of money generally that we are because their cost of living is less. So anyways, get rid of that myth, get rid of that rumor right off the bat. To the point of virtual assistants, depends on where you go, but I will just speak because I'm more informed with Sphere Rocket is the Philippines is where these folks are at, right? Predominantly. They're great at English. They are very smart people. They come with a lot of the same skills that Americans and others have. They're very much used to supporting Western societies because that's where the main market is for them. They're used to working your hours, which is night hours for them. So get rid of all the myths. They're humans, right? They work just like we do, right? They are no different than us, right? And we love on them. We want to help them be successful. We want them to be able to take care of their families. They don't have to drive into the cities a lot of times. They're able to work from home, which is a huge value to them. A lot of times why they like these positions with Sphere Rocket and us. They work just as hard as we were. You go through an interview process with them to select the right candidate, so on and so forth. So when and where and how do you use virtual assistants? So for us, a lot of times, Justin and Sphere Rocket and others will kind of start at that general administ position, right? Like, hey, I just need some general admin help, whether that's putting things on my calendar, whether that's time blocking, whether that's booking my travel, whether that's putting on social media posts, things like that nature. When you're first kind of in those early phases of needing somebody, probably a general admin would be helpful for you. Generally, an admin, you can probably get down closer to the $3.50, $4, $3 an hour because it's a general skill set. Then over time, if you want to move into videos, things like that, you want to probably see a couple of one or two video editors, depending on how many videos you're creating. Like, they come with great skills. In fact, this video right here will be edited after shooting by one of our awesome virtual assistants, Aldrin. What up, Aldrin? It's gonna edit this out, right? And then Jason, what up, Jason? He's gonna post this out on YouTube, social media, things like that. So super cool. They're awesome dudes. They work hard, and I don't have to do anything, right? I really just shoot the video, and I'm able to pay them a salary, give them a great living, so on and so forth. Super cool, works well. So really the important thing to me is the leverage piece. Like, do I want to spend, figure out what you're worth, right? Like for me, figure out how much you make in a year, divide that by the number of hours in a year, and that should tell you what your hourly wages are. Maybe mine's $400 an hour. Do I think that it's a good use of my time to be doing video editing at $400 an hour? I sure as hell wouldn't pay anybody $400 an hour to do that, so why would I do that at $400 an hour? That's where the leverage comes in. I just did a video on career and life balance, right? That's one of those career and life balances. Hire out other people to do those tasks that can be done so you can focus on what you perceive as your highest priorities. So very, very much into the virtual assistant world. Man, they can do everything. They've got social media, like Jason does that for our team. Prince is on our team, and he does a lot of the behind the scenes administrative stuff. Monica does listing management for us, a great partner out of the Philippines. So, we've got 4 of them ourselves, and they're all part of the team. Love on all of them. They work hard. They show up every day, and works well for us. I would rather honestly use their economy and pay $4 to $5 an hour for each of them. So I'm paying $16 to $20 an hour for 4 resources compared to the US, where I would get 1 resource for that same price. Right? I'm not trying to cut US people out of the mix. It's just a business model, and you're in business to make a profit, right? And if people can do the same job and do it for less, and it still fits their norms of society, why would we not do that, right? And when I worked at IBM, or I should say a Fortune 500 company, we were moving stuff overseas, decades ago. So it's not a new concept. It's certainly there. It's not about power hungry or making ultimate millions of dollars. It's just about helping another society out, helping more people out globally, and at the same time, getting more efforts towards your business than one person at a similar salary range compared to the other 4 combined. So they love it. We love it. It's a model that works well for us. Super excited to continue to grow. I think there's like 10 or 12 positions. You can leverage some of this in your home life. They can be ordering groceries for you. They can do a lot of things you don't think about. And that's kind of the cool thing on the work-life balance side, is not only do they provide value into the business, but some of them on the general admin side can be like, hey, I'll help you book your family vacations. Hey, I'll make sure I call the hotels before you get there and let them know you're on your way, right? There's a lot of things they can do. Hey, I'll coordinate the cleaners to come to your house weekly and clean the house. Obviously, they're not going to do that from the Philippines or whatever country. However, they can help coordinate and assist all of those things, right? They can do listing management, they can do general admin, they can do social media, they can do video editing, they can schedule your business travel, you name it, it goes on and on. So a lot of opportunities, super cool. Give it a try. I would almost honestly start off as soon as you get your profit, you start getting profitable in your business. Look at a general admin, maybe a social media person, let them run those things for you and grow their business. The last caution I would have on you is when you hire a virtual assistant, think about it. You can't hire one to do everything. Like, I want a video editor, I want a social media person, I want a general administ. That's not their skill sets, right? It's like saying a real estate agent should be an admin. It doesn't work that way, right? Usually realtors are not the greatest at the administrative task. That's just not where our love language or where our skill or strength is, right? It's the same thing with virtual assistants. You can't just be inexpensive and hire one and say, I want you to do everything. That's not their skill set. They come in with the like and the desire and the fire and the knowledge of a particular career field, right? So anyways, hopefully that video was helpful. If they've been partners of ours, huge for us. Super excited for them, and we love them and love everything they do for our business. So anyways, if you want more information on virtual assistants, we've had them for a couple of years. We've got kind of job descriptions. We've got a lot of connections with Sphere Rocket. Go ahead and hit me on my calendar link down below. Put some comments down below. Happy to share any of that stuff with you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video and put some comments. So until the next video, thanks.